Welcome back at 7:44. The end of the year is a time to reflect on the past and count your accomplishments, but it's also a good time to look ahead. Planning your year financially can be a great way to help set you up for years to come. Here to give us tips on what you can do to create monetary success in 2023. Ernie Burns from Burns Estate Planning and Wealth Advisors. Ernie Burns.
Thank you.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
All right, so let's talk about this. It's the Christmas Eve right now, and a lot of folks are kind of getting ready for the holiday weekend. If you're a trader, if you're on the stock market, you probably are kind of like closing things down for this sort of sleepy week ahead.
Yeah.
We talked about the Christmas or the Santa Claus rally. What should you be thinking about right now if you're looking at the end of the year finances?
Well, unfortunately, there wasn't a rally. But one thing you need to look at is make sure you contribute to your retirement account, your IRA, your Roth IRA. Make sure you've done that for the end of the year because you want to make sure that you make those contributions, especially the Roths that are tax-free.
Yep. Yeah, and there's limits on that. So if you hadn't reached that limit, this is kind of the time to maybe try and get closer to that.
Absolutely. and then look at 2022's budget. How much do you need to increase it for 2023, and how are you going to do that? And if you dug into your savings this year for those Christmas gifts, maybe start that emergency account back up in January.
Figure out how you're going to maybe pay yourself back for that, right?
Yep.
So as we look at this end of the year, it's been such an interesting situation with, the market and the bond market's down for the first time in more than 50 years, right? So, do you have more hope for next year?
Yes, it depends on your time horizon, as we were just talking about before the tape came back on. Well, my thing is looking at the future. If your time horizon's 5 to 10 years or more, these stocks are on sale right now.
Yeah.
They really are. Now, pick and choose wisely, very important. But if your time horizon is within the next year, you should have already pulled back that risk. But make sure you sit down with your financial advisor and look at how you're investing. Make sure you're not investing as if you were 20 or 30 years old. Also, the end of the year like this right now, look at beneficiary designations. What's happened over the last year that's a big factor in your life? You had a new child, beneficiary, right? New designation, beneficiary. If you got married, if you got divorced, or God forbid, if you lost a loved one, look at those beneficiary designations. Because the estate planning side of our business, we see that a lot. Somebody's will is 10, 15, 25 years old, and those children are gone. Things have happened in your life, or you're 30 years old and no one's ever built a will, So look at those designations.
When you talk about too, kind of looking at the next year, the tax season, now's the time a lot of people like to give to charity to try and lessen their tax burden. There's some definite techniques on how to do that rather than just cutting a check from the bank, right?
Yeah, there's different ways to do it. Make sure you donate to a charity, a nonprofit. Different organizations. We like to keep our donations local in the surrounding area. We've done a lot with Children's Hospital lately also. Make sure you're given to where you can see some type of return in a sense of you can see somebody local is actually benefiting.
Right. It's not just to lessen the burden,
and
but
you
it's
can
to help others.
Right, to help others, and you can put it in your will or your trust. You can make designations that way. If you're not sure how to do that, give us a call.
All right. So at the end of the day, this year's wrapping up. It's it feels like a lot of people, whether you're planning for your future financially, whether you're investing directly into the stock market on a daily basis, ready for 2023 to start and turn the page, right?
Yeah, we can forget about 2022. It's horrible. And I think the Feds will pause rates in 2023. The question is when? Probably January, February. And if he does, that's when tech stocks will jump again.
Okay, so you're going to see some.
They got beaten up this year.
Some of those big ones that are at a discount right now are going to be a good time to potentially buy those.
Yep.
All right, Ernie, thanks so much for joining us. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Appreciate it. All right, time now.